Yeah. Well, I have to admit, I've been trying to put my head in the sand today. With all the news, oh my giddy heart, it's not great, is it? Lies, 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 more lies. I say, tell the truth and shame the devil. Well, I've got a few bits and pieces here for you today, and we're streaming via the mobile. There we are. I'm doing a bit of an experiment to see whether or not the evenings get more people via the mobile app, so I'm streaming via the phone, than I do when I stream via the streaming software, to see if there is any correlation there, or am I just off my rocker? It could be either. It could. Well, you see. Sometimes I think I'm on my own. I do whatever, Gina. Oh, yes. I'm on my own. I do sometimes. I sit there in the car. I do, yeah. Thinking to myself, contemplating, wondering what the heck is going on. But you know, those who truly care about you, well, I only really notice you when you're quiet, quite frankly. But you see, there are so many people at the moment living in fear, not just in the United States, but in the UK, in Europe, certainly in Ukraine and Gaza. Frightened they are. They don't know what tomorrow will bring. Makes all our troubles seem a little bit, how to put it, minuscule, really, in comparison. Don't know about you, but I'm not worried about being blown up. No. I'm not worried about my children being blown up. No. Just worried about the day-to-day, I suppose. And so many people are. They're struggling. People are struggling. But is that woke? Is it too socialist to care about other people? Apparently. In Trump's world it is. Most certainly. And Nigel Farage's. And others who, quite frankly, if I met them face to face, I can't. Anyway, that's another story. Let's not go there, because I'll get demonetised again. That I will. Well, you see. I have to admit, the world seems to be truly and utterly messed up. It really does. And unfortunately, we all get drawn into it. We all have to live it with those around us, because if you're human, you're concerned. If you have got any modicum of humanity, you would hope that the so-called Christians out there, those who vote for Donald Trump, you'd have thought they should have humanity if they're Christians, but unfortunately, many of them don't either. I'm not going to tarnish all Christians with the same brush, because that's not fair. But those who follow Trump, well, quite frankly, you don't care about people. Don't care about the fact that there's people living in fear, to the point that they are hiding away until they have to come out of the woodwork, until they go to the doctors, for instance, and then they get tasered. No warrants, no nothing, and get carted away. But for these Christian types who support MAGA and all that, you know, as far as they're concerned, that's okay, because they're the other, you see. That's not humanity. I don't see how that could even be Christianity. No. Let any religion come to that. Anyway, I got a beer. I haven't had one for... Well, I had brandy, yes, I have to admit. But yeah, I haven't had one for a day or so. It's a blonde, it is. Oh, it's like a good blonde, yes. Well, I have to admit that everything seems a little bit crazy. But let's be honest.
I was just checking to see if I went viral.
No,
what do you mean, do something cute? When am I not cute? Look at me. Are you for real right now? What?
Oh, you mean fishmen that only eat fish on Fridays? What have I missed? Hello, Tom here. I hope you're well, my friend. And, I saw you. I'm sure I saw you today somewhere else. I don't know where I was. Might be on my woodworking channel. Margaret 2, Scooby-Doo-Dah, rocking all over the orange fromage. Yes, that smelly orange cheese. Hi all, but tired and fuzzy. Well, I'm always tired and fuzzy. I barely get any sleep these days. But hey-ho, c'est la vie. That'll do. I had to fill myself up with energy drinks and, yeah, it's my little, yeah, I keep them nearby. It's my little Wally's collar, that is, yeah. Anyway, we could be getting another dog very soon, we'll see. We keep looking at them, we'll see. That's a nice carrot! Carrot? What, Jasper Carrot? Oh, Scott, Kerry. Cheeto, Barley has a cognitive ability to, has a cognitive ability to understand he is alive. That's about it. The Cheeto Bandito. I don't know really what's going on there at the moment. There's how to put it, a little bit of blame game going on regarding Ukraine. Well, they say Donald Trump said, well, that's it. I spoke to Putin. I'm not very happy. We're going to be sending Ukraine loads of bombs and stuff, right? You know, Patriots and God knows what else, whatever they need. Yeah. And then Pete Hegseth, he stopped it a few days ago, and Pete Hegseth says, no, it wasn't me. It was the boy down the road, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It was the minion, one of the subordinates, and it's just it's absolutely ridiculous. No, Pete Hegseth. Oh my giddy aunt. What is wrong with that man? No, I'm going to have to show you something in a moment because it's just literally, it's just crazy. Here we are. Right, I am on the phone, so I'll have to, I'll put it over here. That might be a better place to put it, it could be taller. Yeah, that's a better idea. So then it'll be bigger. Now you just have a look at this, right? Tell me what you think of this, because this is just bonkers.
As we expect. Manufacturing based by producing thousands of American-made products, prioritizing Buy American. We'll arm combat units with a variety of low-cost American-crafted drones, leveraging our world-leading engineers and AI experts. And third, we're going to train as we expect to fight. Senior officers, I'll grab this memo. Senior officers must overcome bureaucratic risk aversion in budgeting, weaponeering, and training. So here's the memo we're signing today, delivered.
You're not Tony Stark.
Here on the front lawn of the Pentagon, with some of our great warfighters flying them. This is the future. We're in the fight. We're in the fight to win it. And we're never going to back down. Manufacturing based by producing thousands of American-made products, prioritizing Buy American.
What did I just see? He's not Tony Stark. He certainly is not. He's been watching too much fucking Iron Man. He has. Oh my giddy hell. What do you make of that? I thought having the old Teslas on the lawn of the White House was bad enough, and now we've got this in front of the Pentagon. Memo, buy more vodka, do it! Barbie. Stop the greed! Oh, crikey, what have we done? What have I say? Oh, wow! Thank you so much, my friend. Crikey. Stop the greed. He's just done a super chat of £50. Oh my! Thank you so much. It really makes a difference. I have been doing quite a few live streams, Reese. I really have. I've been trying to do 2 or 3 a day, so I'm trying to keep it up. It's actually quite hard, you know, to keep your head spinning. But while I keep giving us the news in this kind of strange, how to put it, format, Pete Hegseth in front of the fucking Pentagon with drones flying around him. Oh God, I got a seizure. Oh my giddy aunt. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, my friend. And what's that there? Oh, hit the like button. Hit boop. You don't forget boop the old like button. It's much appreciated that it is. Oh crikey. Oh, that would take me back. Thanks, my friend. Do you know what? It makes all the difference. You know when you do this game and It kind of just reassures, when people do things like that, it kind of just reassures you, or it encourages you to carry on, you know. Sort of spread what you can, you know. I won't lie to you, you know, I won't do, you know. I'll try and make a bit of fun as well, because it's so depressing, you know. Everything's just so depressing. You know, you need a... You know, if you didn't laugh, you'd cry, if you know what I mean. And look at this face. How can you not laugh at this face? Oh dear. That is really appreciated. Thank you very much, my friend. Oh, let me got emotional at it. Barbie, hello from the Philippines. Hello in the Philippines. I've got a friend that's from the Philippines here in France. Squidward Miller. Squidward Miller. Yes, that is rather stupid. It is just... It is so cheesy. It's so corny. What are they trying to achieve? With a... What is he trying to tell us? Huh? Well, two drones hovering around your fucking head. I can do that. I've got drones. Why couldn't they drop flower bombs on his head or something like that? You know, you make it a little bit more entertaining. That's just ludicrous. We actually used to do that with our aeroplanes. I used to belong to a model glider club called the Irks. Eastern Radio Control Swords. We used to fly on Fort Recreation Ground and on Brisley Common. And I used to rig them up with on the 4th channel, just with a servo and a rubber band. And we used to have little bags of flour underneath. And the servo come off, and then you operate the servo, it releases the elastic band, and then the little bag of flour falls down. You can do water bombs and all sorts, and odd condoms. And there he goes. You know, and as far as Donald Trump's concerned, he could do something like that with his golf courses with some weed killer. That you could. Oh yes, apparently we're having to pay, Scotland is having to pay for all that extra security for Donald Trump because he's going to be visiting one of his golf courses in Scotland. That knows for you. Yeah, lovely man, isn't he? Shit. When are you going to burn the grass or something? Isn't he adorable? There we go. I have got a really annoying fly, and that reminds me. It does, what does it remind me of? Got to find it now. Not that one. No. Oh my god, not that. No. Oh, that. Let me just share this with you, because the fly just reminded me. I don't know why, but it just did. A fly bounced on me, and I'm sure it's going to crawl around the top of my head. And it reminded me of this. That it did, yes. Remember him? Yeah, you know, the guy that the MAGA wanted to hang. Yeah, you know how it goes, you know. Why the hell not? You've got to hang a Pence now and then, haven't you? Alright, let's just see what he had to say about tariffs.
I watched a little bit of the cabinet meeting this week, and I saw Secretary Bessent speak very glowingly about the projection is $300 billion in tariff revenue this year. Well, tariffs are a tax, and American importers and businesses and ultimately consumers pay almost all of that. And so literally a week after we managed to extend the Trump-Pence tax cuts and prevent a $2,000 tax increase on working families, the administration is right now boasting of the fact that that the average American household is going to see about $3,000 increase in the cost of goods, because we're paying that. So that's why I referred to Liberation Day. I said could well be the largest peacetime tax hike in American history. I watched a little bit of the cabinet meeting this week.
Oh, there you go.
Secretary Bessent,
how can Pence say a thing like that, you know? Dolly only called for his head after all. You know how it goes. People got a short memory. But they had the hangman's noose outside. That was planned. You don't just all of a sudden, oh, there it is. January the 6th, there was. All of a sudden, they planned it. They brought it down. Hang my Pence, they shouted, didn't they? And I wouldn't be surprised they did if they got hold of them. Blimey. Maybe that's what we need, some public hangings. Let's start with Donald Trump, maybe. The President of the United States. President, dum-dum, like he is. Blimey, that man. The thing is, though, he doesn't actually know what's going on, does he? He doesn't know. I don't think he even knew that, well, the BBB, the great, you know, beautiful bill, the big beautiful bill, was going to, what, we'll scrap Medicaid and Medicare and veteran care and God knows what, there's loads of stuff in there. Oh God, it's too much to list. He said, well, we're going to touch Medicaid. Though, well, was it just a blatant lie? Could be, because in the day that man can't help himself, can he? He's a compulsive liar. And they still suck up to him. These fucking live streams have been following. Do you know what? I got put on timeout. How dare he? There I was trolling him. And I got put on timeout. He did not like what I had to say. Like, because I was speaking the truth. They don't like the truth, do they? No. So it makes them look stupid. Because they clearly do not understand. Got one geezer, oh my God, a little clip here actually for you. He's going on about the fucking Constitution and he ain't even got a clue what's in the fucking thing. That ain't in the Constitution, what the fuck are you on about? It's stretched out of all proportion. Things they go around with these little booklets, don't they? The Constitution, like little, you know, really old and sort of wrinkly and that, like that. It's just an outline of it. It's much bigger and thicker and has little letters in it. You know, enough people can't read anyway. So there you go. They're just crazy. It's got to be said. They are. These MAGA people are nuts. They really are nuts. Oh dear, will you keep hello there? That's such crap. I feel that you all suck with UK's nonsense. Oh, that's stuck with UK's nonsense, and you can just say, nah, mate, not host him at all. What have I missed? What have I missed? Hello, Roman Lego. How is it going? Cheers. No, they didn't touch it. They just put a hole in it. Well, when you consider that there's about nearly $1 trillion, there's about 800 billion actually, I think it was. I think they actually got a little bit higher than that on the Medicaid. But that's like the entire budget of Medicaid. What it does is it allows them, I don't mean to say they're going to necessarily get rid of it all, it just gives them the opportunity to. So Donald Trump could say, he could get rid of bits of it and say, I'll come up with this new one. It's not called Medicaid anymore, it's called Trumpton aid or something, you know, Trumpy aid. I don't know, whatever he's going to call it. And it'll be exactly the same thing, but he just rename it. There's an opportunity to get rid of the, of Medicaid. They just call it Trump aid. Maybe. I don't know, I'm guessing. Anyway, it's not coming until 2027 regarding Medicaid cuts and stuff. Now, I made a video earlier this week about, also I did live about as well regarding Canada. And I have to admit, I'm actually really impressed with, I keep saying this, don't I? But they've made some major changes to the way they trade. The dollar has been suffering a little bit, the Canadian dollar, but against the dollar, it's up. Because of the dollar, as in the US dollar, is on the down, 10.8. It's just dying a death, isn't it? Let's be honest. It really is. And it's helping everybody else. But look at this. It's not helping me, because I'm paid in the fucking dollar. So I'm worse off. Because obviously it's an American company, you see. Although my AdSense is in France, which is how you get paid. So you know this, basically, with YouTube, with the tiny amount of money I get from YouTube itself, it goes to a company called, part of the division called AdSense, and that's the bit that sorts out all the payments and stuff like that. And mine has to be in France, because I'm in France, you see, and I pay my taxes in France. So, oh blimey, stop great. Oh, cheers, buddy.
Never say you can't. Say.
What do you mean, dude?
Stop.
Never say you can't.
This. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Oh, it stopped. Oh, cheers. Stop the grade. Is that another one? Have you done two so far? You haven't, you? Oh, blimey, crikey, my friend. You are. Oh, wow. You're a lifesaver, you are. Go towards my doggies, pretty much. So I have to admit, he's looking at me down there. He's little Sebastian. He's hoping for a treat. And there's Dora there. No, she's in the other room. She looks to sprawl out on the sofa because it's an old leather one and it's like cold. That keeps her cool. She likes it on there. And Sebastian's always named feet, aren't you, boy? So he's a lovely, lovely fella. But he's trying. We want to try and find you a friend, don't we? We'll try and find you a friend. So the thing is, that our dogs are getting old. So there's an opportunity to, if we do get another dog, they can help train him, if you know what I mean. So they kind of like, it rubs off on a new dog. We're not getting a puppy. We'll find one from the refuge. So yeah, I'm not. No, thank you, my friends. I really appreciate that. Doggies are great. I love my dogs. Carney is doing a fantastic job as PM. He is. He really is. No one's going to say he's perfect. No one's perfect, are they, in this world? And he's going to make mistakes, like everybody does. But he's putting Canada on a good trajectory. And then with LNG and what have you, you're going to obviously need some offshore ports and stuff like that regarding shifting the LNG. At the moment it's going to Asia, isn't it? But you know, Canada's doing well. Although their exports are down to the United States, for obvious reasons, you know, you add a tariff to something, all of a sudden people say, okay, we are not going to buy as much. The end product becomes more expensive, like Mike Pence was saying with the fly. Like what he was saying, if the overall cost, buying price, don't we, after all, if the overall cost, unless you're rich, the overall cost, it becomes too much, and people then hold back, don't they? You know, people's buying power is much squeezed if things are more expensive. And that goes right across the board. It's not just cars and stuff like that. If you talk about metals, steels, alloys, there's loads of products, for instance, that can get squeezed. And also copper. You know, Canada's a major copper exporter, Brazil, and various other countries as well. And now there's, Brazil's just had a 50% tariff added on them with the copper, as well as Canada as well. It's just like, how do you attack everybody? It's just like one attack after another, and then obviously the delay in the Liberation Day tariffs. It's, another taco, and it's till the 1st of August, and that'll probably be delayed again and again and again until Donald Trump can cover his own ass, so try to make himself look good. But when countries, like for instance, he's just had, I think about 3 or 4 African countries visit the White House, including Liberia, which you can have a fucking clue about their language. They're basically slaves. They're slaves that were sent to Liberia, obviously a very long time ago, and they speak English. And he's going on about in the White House where do you learn English? That way you speak it beautifully. You speak it better than some people at this table. You speak it beautifully. He goes, yeah, obviously you must be talking about Donald Trump, but it's just, oh my God, talk embarrassing yourself. He should know. He's the President of the United States. If you invite someone to the White House, you should do your recce. I don't expect the layman to know this stuff, but he should know. He should have been advised this stuff. Should have been informed. He ain't going to know everything, is he? But his advisors should have advised him. This is what you should expect. They are such a ramshackle bunch. They really are. The only thing they care about is deportations. That is the only thing they care about. Donald Trump don't really care about these tariffs. He don't really care about that. It's a game to him. He just wants to see us all squirm, just like he did when he was, you're fired. When he... I have to admit, Alan Sugar's better at that, I must say. Even though he's never an arsehole, but there you go. Oh, Winnerkeeper, yep, don't want him here. No, you don't want him in Scotland. Don't, but he's going to come and visit you. He is, yes, he's going to say, hello, at my golf course. You've been looking after it. And where's that geezer where we cut his water off? Oh, blimey, he's back on again, let's cut it off again. You didn't know that there's a guy who basically, his water for his house, for his farm, was coming through the golf course. And it was cut off. He went back onto the golf course himself and reconnected it. No, that wasn't. I wasn't trying to be gay. All right, just so you know, I'm talking about pipes, plastic pipes. So what do I think about this crazy, messed up world? Well, you just knocked on the head there. It is crazy and it's fucking messed up. Trump being, isn't helping. I learned a new word today. I learned a new word today. This is the actual word. It's called trumpery. Seriously, it's an actual word. And in French, it means deceit. Well, it comes from French. So it's a derivative of meaning deceit. So Donald Trump is performing trumpery with his tariffs. That he is. Are you impressed? No, probably because it just came in my feed and I watched it and I thought, oh, that's funny. But you know, these people is just, whether it be the tariffs or whether it be the immigration, that's the thing that really, I just can't condone. How can you condone it? There is flipping Christian homes trying to make it. Oh, we were there straight away in Texas. We were. Oh yeah, these people and those people. Yeah, commend them. They're also fantastic. They were. 72 hours it took them to respond. 72 hours to those floods. I'm sorry, but something like that. What do you do? You get the military down there straight away. As far as I'm concerned, get your helicopters down there and start getting people out. But no, they wait. And wait. And wait. People are dying. You know? I mentioned this before, but you know, like for instance, when the plane and the helicopter crashed into each other above the lake, and all he could say was about how the helicopter goes up and it goes down, it goes left, it goes right, it goes back, it goes forwards. And when he was asked by the press, is he going to go and visit the site? What was his response? What, do you expect me to swim? People have died. The man has no compassion, no empathy. All he thinks about is his conquests, whether they be financial conquests, female conquests, youth conquests. That's all he cares about. What was the first thing we heard about Trump, right? You know, when he's doing his old campaign? Well, he said, grab by the pussy. He's not a decent man. He's not a moral man. Well. He certainly ain't a Christian, if you know. Quite frankly, I'm not. You know, I'd say I'm just an atheist. I'm not even believing that stuff. I really don't. You know, I don't believe you need to. I say it every single time, every single live stream. I say to you that I don't believe you have to follow some God or Christ or what have you, or book to be a good person, to do the decent thing. You know, to help people. I'll do anything for anybody. All right, I really will. I don't let my tools out unless they're attached to my hands. As far as I go. But anyway, I do help people out. My friends, my neighbours, what have you. We grow a load of food. They do a little bit as well, you know, and we have a little bit of exchange. Sometimes we just give them stuff. Because it's too much for us. What else are we going to do with it, you know? You have a glut. But, you know, it's nice because it creates a relationship. And I feel that a lot of that is missing these days. This is one of the nice things when people have gardens and you start growing veg and what have you. You can use that as like icebreakers with people. You know, it's just you know, you've got a cabbage. Oh, would you like a cabbage? Got some carrots or whatever, you know, some garlic. You know, some asparagus, whatever. But it's just nice to be able to have that exchange with people. It also instigates a conversation about stuff. Even if it's just the weather. It's just kindness. And you don't need to follow a god. Or, like I say, a book. Or some fake prophet who goes around in his very expensive jet. Private jet. Just on the basis of donations, which is absolute madness. But, you know, you don't need that. You don't need that. You just need to do the right thing. And it's not difficult, is it? The only thing I would say is it feels to me that people are frightened. They're scared of the response that they will get if they offer something. Whether it be themselves. Do you want to handle that? You know? Someone's on the side of the road and they've got a flat tire and they go, well, I don't know how to do this, you know, because a lot of people don't. Do you want to handle that? I was only last winter, someone got stuck coming out of their driveway. Just an old, especially an old, I suppose she's in her 60s or something, but you know, she's an eldish woman, and her car's coming out of the driveway, and she just couldn't move anywhere. The wheels were just spinning, you know, because she had basically ice everywhere. So I stopped. I got a four-wheel drive. I was in an X-Trail, but I got a four-wheel drive. I got the road bed of the car and just put it on, you know, on a little hook thing, and then ran my tow bar and pulled her out. I feel those sort of little things, little gestures like that. And I have to admit, I'll be the first to admit this, it made me feel good. Helped her out, but I got something out of it. I felt I'd done something good. Helped this poor woman get out of a fucking driveway. The roads were clear, it was just her driveway. It had been gritted, you see, but not the driveway. It's just stuff like that. Don't you feel it's just... I mentioned this, I think it was yesterday or the day before in one of my live streams, when my son told me that when he was moving out of a house that he lived off Silver Road in Norwich, and he said to me, well, I was asking about his neighbours and stuff, and he said, what's your neighbours and stuff? And he says, well, we've never spoken, been here. They'd been about, I can't remember how long it was, about 7 to 10 years they'd been there, Marlborough Road, and it's off Silver Road. And I thought, crikey, been all that time, and he'd been there for around 7 odd years. And never spoken to his neighbour, that other neighbour just over the fence is about it, but never spoke to that neighbour next door. Not because they had any grievance with him, they just never ever engaged with him. I find it a bit strange. And when we lived in Salhouse in Norfolk, when our new neighbour moved in, he turned out to be a bit of a crackpot. Anyway, when we moved in, we took a cake round. It's just stuff like that, you know. It's just hello, yeah, my name's this, and that, yeah, don't worry, it wasn't not everybody was going around there, you know. But you just introduce yourself. At the end of the day, it was a semi-detached house, and it just seemed the right thing to do. You've got to introduce yourself at some point, haven't you? I don't know. I don't feel that. I know some people do, but a lot of people don't bother anymore. It's like we're frightened of everybody around us who won't say boo to a goose. I find that a little bit odd and a crying shame. Because alone we can obviously achieve so much, but together we can achieve a whole lot more. And that's the same with things like, you know, the European Union being a union, a group of countries coming together and achieving a whole lot more than they would do as the individual. And Ursula von der Leyen, she's just, she had a confidence vote against her, but you know, she won, so that's, you know, I think she's done a pretty good job, to be fair. And then there's, you know, in the United States, and they're pushing back at everybody, all their neighbours. Canada, they're pushed back at, and Canada's saying, well, fuck, excuse me French, F you, haven't they? No, I don't want to do an update just yet. Another time. No, okay. No, I don't want to restart now. Okay, we'll do an update. No, another time. Go away. Don't want the updates yet. But so I need it. So that's just my computer was just saying. Oh, do you want to do an update? No, not just yet. Oh my God, they're offering updates because I'm still on Windows 10 on this PC. So yeah, I just I just find it all a bit sad. I do find it a little bit sad because we need to open up to people. Sometimes you've got to give a little bit of yourself. You really have. And it's really it's a crying shame, and I like to say sad, but also it's a crying shame to see what's going on in the United States, where people are having to hunker down, hanker down, what have you, and because they're frightened of what's going on with ICE. You know, US citizens themselves are going to be next. In fact, some of them are already being abducted, kidnapped by ICE. Ordinary people just try and go by their lives. You know, go about their lives, do their thing, you know. Not causing any harm to anybody. They're not criminals necessarily, you know, some might be, but generally not. Majority not. You know, it's like there's immigration like you're going, oh, there's probably no more than 10, maybe around 10,000 potential criminals, right? They're just scooting everybody up, aren't they? Just because they're either undocumented or even they are documented because they're waiting for their papers. They're going to the interviews and being taken. The amount of people that's crikey, some. I heard some reports it's 1,800 a day, and other reports I bet it's like 3,000 a day, or probably what Steve Miller would like. It's probably more realistic. They're taking about 1,800 a day at the moment, and they're attacking states, blue states primarily, because they say they're sanctuary states. They say they're harbouring the criminals. They say, but they're not criminals. There are people working on fucking fields, picking your food in the United States. Picking your food. And apparently they're criminals. It's madness. Absolute madness. And the relationship that the US has with other countries is souring fast. They might have nice words to say about Trump to try and soften the situation at the moment, but they're looking elsewhere. They're looking elsewhere. All Trump is doing is strengthening BRICS. Strengthening China, strengthening Russia, and then India and what have you. Because they're all looking at trading with themselves and cutting themselves off, adrift from the United States. Canada's pretty much done that. They're still trading with the United States. The trade is still fairly up there, but it has gone down quite a bit. But they're still trading with the United States. But they're currently just riding it out until they can find new markets. The ones that are obviously going to be very hard to cut away from are obviously the car markets, as in, car parts and obviously manufactured cars, cars that are manufactured in Canada that were destined for the United States. But look what's happened with John Deere. John Deere is, instead of building in the US, even with the tariffs and whatever, they're saying they're going to build these other bits of equipment. They still build other stuff in the United States. It's not everything going over to Mexico. But they know full well that the cost of manufacturing labour and what have you, it makes more sense for them in the United States. In Mexico. At the end of the day, though, if it wasn't for the tariffs, the stuff come back into the United States would be cheaper for the buyers. People buy on price, generally. All that happens is that, if it becomes too expensive, they'll look at something else. Another manufacturer of, I don't know, maybe Massey Ferguson or whatever, but even that'd be moving abroad. So, Canada will take some time to decouple. It will, won't it? It will, but they're going the right way. They really are. They're going the right way. They've got the right idea, and they did that from day one. As soon as they've been attacked, especially that 51st state thing, my God, that was that's so stupid. So stupid. And I've had people come in my live streams before suggest, Canada to be 51st state and all that. You know what I mean? That kind of attitude. I thought, you stupid bloody idiots. That will not end well. That is a Ukraine situation, that is. And, will countries such as other, Canada's allies and new allies as well stick up for Canada? I think they would. I think they would have to say to themselves, well, can't trust you anymore. The US, that is. I think they'd have to. The US now is a rogue state, or states. Actually, not all would be fair. It's a rogue country as a whole. And when you hear these MAGA people speak positively about this sort of stuff. If you say you're a Christian, what the hell? No. They just are not. Well, I like the attitude of what's going on in Canada, for instance. You know, some people say, oh yeah, you should never say you can't do it, should you? You just say you haven't done it yet. Pretty much. Or if it's not your thing, don't do it. Like, for instance, I've never been trans and I'm not about to either, okay? It's not my thing. Got no problem with it, but it's not my thing. Well, I'm not good trans. I'll keep a beard though. I'd be the most ugly trans person. Oh God, Bennett, no, I'd look terrible. I really would. Nice that Canada has friends. It has had friends. Canada's got friends. Because generally speaking, majority of other than the Maple MAGA, who seems a little bit misinformed to say the least, from what I can see, and I'm a British citizen living in France, and it's really nice that the Canadian people have accepted me, and I've got quite a few Canadians now subscribed to the channel, and it's actually quite nice. It's nice to be accepted, isn't it? You know, it's nice to be wanted, nice to be loved. All you need is love. Something like that. Well, have you tried mushrooms? No, I have not tried Donald Trump's penis. No. Okay, Mr. Whitey. Not my thing. No, I do like mushrooms, but yeah, not those sort of mushrooms that you're talking about, especially not agarus, because you just put a picture of an agarus. Is it agarus? Oh, crikey, what is it? You know, the red spotty one. Red and white spotty one. No, and that's not my thing, because they're toxic. I do, me and the missus, we do go mushroom. We go foraging for mushrooms. But we stick to seps, agarus. We stay away from death cap for obvious reasons. We just keep the ones that are obvious, generally, you know. But that's quite good in France, because you just walk through the woods wherever you find them, especially deciduous woods. You won't find them around carnivorous woodlands, because they just don't grow there, because everything's acidic. Is it acidic or alkaline? I can't remember now. You need some Cheerios and clementines. Oh, what for, Cheeto? Cheerios. I can't really grow clementines. I can't really grow. I've tried growing lemons, but lemons are actually quite a hard thing to grow. Really, do it in the pot, and you really free draining soil. Obviously, just rot. So I'm not agaric. That's it. Fly agaric. That's the one. Thanks. Stop the greed. Yes, that's the one. The red one with the white spots. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They don't eat them. Now, some mushrooms that you might think, oh God, do I eat that? Like, for instance, puffballs. Yeah, when they're young, you can actually eat puffballs, but they're not nice. But you can eat them; they're edible. But you have to cook them as well. Yes, don't poison yourself. It's a really good idea, Kiri. Yes, I don't want to do that. But yeah, we do. Yeah, they're quite good here though, because you got the pharmacy. If you've got any doubts, you take them to the pharmacy, and they will identify them for you. So yeah, and also our French friend Fiona, she's a real forager. She is. She's really good, and she's she goes around with a little basket collecting things out, you know, on the hedgerows and stuff, and get some dandelions and have that wheat, what you consider weeds that dogs are peed on. And probably my dog's probably just shat on it. Wait for a walk. I don't know. But anyway, she's pretty good. She knows a lot of stuff. She's a lady of the land. She is, and I've learned so much from her as well. Willie Keeper says, I love mushrooms and looking for them is fun. But I don't forage, and I'm not that educated on fungus. If you stick to the most common ones, you'll go wrong. It's really easy. Really, really easy, really. It's just stay away from one, especially if they're white underneath. Keep away from the white ones underneath. And then you've got the because you get confused quite easy with death cap. You don't want to do that. You have the little loose ring and stuff like that. You don't want a loose ring either, no. Or a chocolate starfish, come to that. Also, bloody fly. Got Mike Pence over there. I have you, Mike Pence. Blimey. actually quite a good day, actually. And that's those super chats. They really give me a bit of a boost. It was so kind. It's very nice. Puffballs are gross. They don't taste nice. But they are edible, right? And also, when you cook them up, everything turns black and got black grey colours. They're horrible. I tried it, and it's not great. But they are edible. So if you're desperate, you can eat them. But when they're young, not when they're old. Let's say most mushrooms, you really want to eat them when they're young. Now, like for instance, you got the agarus and what have you, and they like the button mushrooms. When they're young, they'll have a hair in France. Our little field mushrooms will be pink underneath. And then they'll open up and go brown underneath, like a field mushroom, you know. And you don't want them to get too big because then they're a bit shitty, you know, and they're great. But they can get like that big, like that here. It's huge. But you mustn't. If they're in a sheep field, don't eat them because you can. Sheep carry pathogens, you see, and they're quite often they pee and shit on them. So don't do that. No. There we go. Put a piece of fruit in an almost closed bag and wait. Then close the bag and release outside. What's that for? Sorry, what have I missed? Is cannabis legal there? I think it is for your own consumption. You can grow, but you can buy the seeds anyway. You can buy the seeds anyway. Oh, thank you, my friend. Was that on the woodworking channel? Or on the other one? I think it's probably woodworking channel. I quite enjoyed it now. It's something I know, you know? The thing about politics and stuff like this sort of stuff, you're always having to learn all the time, and it's changing every single day. But when you talk about a skill or something you've done for a very long time, it's a part of you, isn't it? It's like riding a bike, you know, it comes easy. Oh, cannabis is not legal in France, says Chrome Dome. I thought you could have one plant or something stupid like that for your own consumption, but if you're saying that, yeah, maybe it's not true. I wouldn't know, because I've never ever tried cannabis, or any drugs that actually come to that, apart from a bear. And obviously paracetamol. I have shitloads of paracetamol and tramadol these days. Mushrooms. The Australian woman gave to their guests. Ooh. Weed and red wine. Well, wine here in France is ridiculously cheap. You get a really nice bottle of red for under €5. You know, very drinkable. If you really want to save some money, you go to Leclerc and you get a bottle of red for $1.75. It's perfectly drinkable. It's not vinegar. It's all right. It's not great though. You know. Can cause live on tramadol and paracetamol. Sometimes you can take tramadol and paracetamol together, can't you? I don't like mixing the drugs. I don't like taking drugs full stop. But because I've got a thyroid issue, I have to take one for that, and that's linked to my fibromyalgia. And I have to take a duloxetine, just one little one for that every day, and then painkillers really, and sometimes anti-inflammatories, depending. It is a fucking nightmare. And I've only just recently been diagnosed with it. I had it for some time, and I've been in there for tests over a period of time for IBS and God knows what else, and it's it's definitely fibro. Oh, I'm smoking weed right now. I've never tried it. I wouldn't know. I've never ever tried anything like that. I've led a sheltered life, mate. Yeah. That's what happens when you have 6 kids. Maybe I should have took some, you know. Oh, I see. You can take them both together and it's more effective. Oh, just stop. I find sometimes paracetamol works better than tramadol, and sometimes the tramadol works better than the paracetamol. The thing about paracetamol, it's not great on the tummy, so you man takes something else with it as well. So I don't have too much paracetamol, but I've got a cupboard full of fucking drugs. It's just ludicrous. Gummies are good for pain. What's what gummies? If you can find Kalala pain relief cream. It's a miracle, reduces inflammation. It's a Canadian product. The thing about fibromyalgia, it's your body tricking your brain effectively. They've got the vagus nerve, and the signals from my nerves are just messed up. They're like amplified. So what would be like not a particularly bad pain ends up being, it feels a lot worse than what it is in reality, if it makes any sense, but tells your brain that it's bad. So it's just one of the things. It's just like never, you know. So I ain't tried anything like that. So yeah, I can imagine, Brett Rose. The longer I watch the protests in Los Angeles, the more weed I need. I just don't know what you're going to do over there, because that's one of the, what I consider one of the like California, one of the sanctuary states, and I honestly believe that Donald Trump wants to control California, New York, all the ones that make the money. I don't think it's got anything to do with sanctuary states. It's got to do with money. You see, they're the cash cows of the country, and they're Democratic run. So, and soon it'll be Mandani. So Mandani in New York. So that could cause Trump some problems. He'll deport him, won't he? Probably. Oh crikey! Some trumped up, some trumpery. I have a toque, and I go. I have a toque, and I go garden. Oh, tote! It'll be a tote. I have a tote, and I go the garden, and I work my fields as with a keeper. Yeah, why not? Brilliant. You know, I recently made a tote in a live stream on my Wally Bar channel. It's really good. I really like it. Oh, no, it's okay. Oh, cheers, buddy. Made mushroom sauce. We just cut the mushrooms, put salt and other ingredients, but some garlic as well, and some other ingredients, and leave the let them drain, because the salt will draw the water out, and then use the water out. Oh, it's a nice sauce for me. Brilliant idea. Really, it's just like Worcester sauce. Well, we have in France. There's a sauce that we have called Maggi, and it's oh crikey, it's like a bit like Marmite, or even a bit like Marmite, but it's thin. It's like a fermented stuff. It's very savoury anyway. It's great for making gravies and sauces and stuff like that. But I didn't know that, so I will make a note. I'll make a note of that. Because I like trying different things. I do like cooking. All right, I'm quite good at cooking and growing food. I like cooking and I like growing food. The two go well together, I'll tell you. And we've now got mushrooms, tomatoes coming in thick and fast at the moment. Oh crikey, one of my tomatoes is as big as that. I just couldn't believe it. Like, you can't import a tray, a bucketful basically of tomatoes. And some are like huge. Yeah, like that. They are that sort of size. Massive things. Hey, yeah, that's the way I like them. Nice and big. So what? Mushrooms. Mushroom salt drain. That will tell me. There you go. Very shorthand. Right, thanks. That's done. Much appreciated, my friend. Oh, nice one. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, do that, please. You can DM me, or you can do it on Blue Sky as well. AllShorts politics on Blue Sky. If you're on there. Healthy eating, healthy living. There it is. Although I eat too much. I'm losing weight though. I'm under 100 kilos now. I crept up to 105. Not good. Not good at all. Obviously that exasperates all your bloody problems. So I'm still losing weight. I'm still going down. And I basically cut shitloads out. I just have really bad habits. Just got to change your life, and you know. Oh, got another thunderstorm coming. That'd be enough. Anyway. So I get back to what I was doing. Right. There are a few things that we need to talk about that are that important, but also funny as well at the same time. And oh crap, what's happened? Come back.
Marjorie Taylor Greene Marjorie Taylor Greene has been in the news lately, first for opposing Trump's bombing of Iran, and then for getting a little crazy with her gavel.
That's why he's working for peace
Madam
right now.
Madam, you're...
Never mind. God's sake. Go
Empire Files team traveled.
Go and work on the old...
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
That's all right, pass that. She all go and work on the old the seeding bill that she wants. Yeah, she's got to ban seeding. Yeah, I tell you what, people ban seeding her, that they do. But this is more like I'm scared, man! Sorry for that. I couldn't resist. No, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Now, when Christy Nome tells us that she was there straight away, you know, doing her thing, you know, the concrete was falling off her face and all that. You know how it goes with Christy Nomes. What a load of bloody lies she spouts. She can't help herself, she really can't. No. Oh, dear me.
So according to officials inside FEMA, the federal response may not have been as fast as it might have been. They say that a new rule that any expenditure over $100,000 needed sign-off from Secretary Nome slowed the federal response. These sources tell us that FEMA's deployment of urban search and rescue teams, which are typically deployed in anticipation they might be needed, instead was delayed until Monday, 3 days after the flood. Now, a source also tells us that a request Texas made for FEMA aerial imagery to aid in the search was also delayed, waiting for Secretary Nome's approval. Now, additionally, multiple FEMA officials say that they were taken aback by the agency's relatively limited response in the immediate aftermath of the disaster. CNN has reached out to FEMA for comment. So far, no reply from the agency. However, a DHS spokeswoman more generally told CNN that FEMA is, in her words, quote, shifting from bloated DC-centric dead weight to a lean deployable disaster force that empowers state actors to provide relief for their citizens. So according to
that woman, oh my God, she is so foul. She shot a dog, for Christ's sake. Who in the right mind shoots their dog? Someone who goes game hunting, maybe? Shoots an elephant? Who shoots their fucking dog? Now, we've just been filling in the form. Alright, we've done it, it was sent for the SBA, which is like it's a local refuge, right, for dogs. Because we could pop down and have a look, see what's there tomorrow. And the questions are there's so many bloody questions. There's not one of okay. There was one question near the end. Okay, if you found that the dog was too much for you or there was a problem, what would make you get rid of the dog, so to speak? Yeah. Well, there's nothing on. I didn't put anything about shooting it. No. No. I said if it's dangerous. I said if it turned out to be a dangerous dog and it's dangerous to my children, grandchildren, and people in general. And that was it. You know. But generally speaking, you get a dog, or a cat, or any fucking animal, you should have it for its entire life. That's my feeling, alright? And there's one. Look at him. He's such a cutie, he is. He's a beautiful boy, he really is. When he's asleep, he's not coughing. But then he wakes up and he starts coughing like crazy. Poor little bugger. He's not well. He's getting old, he's 14 now. It's not a bad age for him. Especially with obviously with heart disease and that, I've always said to the missus, if I knew then what I know now, I would have dogs, not children. I'll say it in front of the kids. Winner keeps it. I was assigned female at birth. I was assigned female at birth, but I generate enough testosterone to grow my own beard, and I put on muscle really fast, and I like it. Well, fair enough. It feels right to me. I'm peak androgynous. I don't even know what that means. I'm sorry. It's fine. The thing is, you got to be happy in your own skin. Look at the state of me, for fuck's sake. I'm a fat guy, Ben. Yes, I've just clipped my head again. I don't care. I don't care what other people do with their lives or their bodies, as long as they don't hurt anybody. Is that really what we should care about? You know? You got family, you got kids and stuff, and that's what you should be worrying about. Don't do harm to others. That's what I don't understand about all these people who, quite frankly, all evangelicals. They tell us, don't they? evangelicals, and they want to hurt people. Doesn't make any sense to me. Why would it? It doesn't make any sense. Period. I don't know. Strange people, aren't they? Chrissy Gnome is a plush, a suppy, ice baby. Oh, blimey. Chrissy Gnomes and her concrete face. Oh my giddy aunt, that woman. Cosplay Christy. She is horrid. Go to work, you lazy dog. No. Because for me, it's 12:30 at night. So I'm not going to work, alright? I've been to work today, alright? I've been building doors. Yes. And I did a live stream while I was doing a little bit of door building. I was more talking than door building. But anyway, on my woodworking channel. That I did. And then when I got off, I then finished what I needed to do. So I'll do a bit more tomorrow. Maybe I'll go live on that as well. Stay going, my friend. For those who have cats and automatic litter boxes, get rid of the litter box. I saw a program that oh my god, the death traps. Well, they go in there and get stuck or something stupid. What happens? They got the doors and stuff on them and they get stuck on the side. That's the thing about these automatic feeders as well. Cats and stuff, you go away for a bit. Oh, got an automatic feeder, that'll look after the cat, that'll feed the cat. You got the cat trapped inside and that, you got away for 2 weeks. The automatic feed batteries run out. Who's going to feed the cat? You know? No. Find somebody, make sure and check on them regular. We got lucky. We got our French friend for a cat. We don't take the cat. When we're going the camper for next week is going in for its control technique. So we will be doing live streams out and about in France. That we will, as long as I've got good internet. So yeah, the camper's got in there now. I just put a card in, and it's got my internet in the camper Wi-Fi. So yes, it hasn't been on the road for about 5 years. So that's going to be quite nice to do. It's gonna, yeah, we'll do it. It's going to be like having a new camper. You know what I mean? Because it's been off the road for so long, it's going to be like, oh, so we got our camper again, you know, and we'll just be going everywhere and again. It's novelty, isn't it? That's the novelty factor. We haven't been away for a while, so it'll be quite nice, you know. And I can still do this, can't I? I can still follow the news and, you know, keep up with the channel. The woodworking channel, I'll have to make sure I keep that propped up with videos and that. I might better do 1 or 2 if I find some wood yards somewhere and do some videos around some wood yards. Poo is not speech, apparently. Nor is Donald Trump speaking out of his old chocolate starfish then. Oh. My home, it's so simple, yet seems so hard. So my home, so Canada, my home. It's so simple, yet seems so hard for some people. What have I missed? What have I missed? Yeah, let people be. That's it. I don't. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I get you now. You're in your space. What business is it of anybody else's anyway? Do you know, I keep looking at the wrong camera. I've got the camera just there. I keep looking into that one. I'm such an idiot. Oh, go back to preschool and start over. Oh, there's some others do have them that they do. I've got a second degree, I have, you know. It's only first degree, but it's still a bloody degree. I bet it sounds like more than a lot of people who say these things have got. I'm educated, me, yeah. I've got A-levels in business studies and accountancy. Boring. I don't recommend doing accountancy for anybody. It's the most boring subject, I'll tell you. Business studies was quite interesting in many ways, but frickin' bloody crikey. Accountancy, that was really boring. Anyway, I did that, so. Anyway, I've got businesses and that, you know, so, you know. I'm qualified, I'll give you an idea, sort of stuff I've done, right? I'm not just bragging because it's just, I'm getting on now, so I think it's fair enough that I've done quite a bit of stuff. So I've got a degree. Yes, it's in photography, but it's actually quite difficult actually in the arts because it's you have to learn about semiotics, iconics, all sorts of shit, and oh my god, it really changes the way your mind thinks. how you look at stuff, nuances and stuff. That I'm up to 17th edition electrical installation. I've done my MVQ 3 in construction, or basically bricklaying and what have you, which included various elements of construction. I've been in the game all my life anyway. I've got my A level in woodworking, and also then I went on to do a sitting guild on that years ago. Felt I didn't really need to, because it felt like a waste of time just to get a bit of paper, and didn't really, because my dad basically taught me. He was a master craftsman. He was a very skilled man. I went on from there, really, and obviously got his school education and further education. I did computer programming as well. I did up to board in C++ in A level. It was boring. It's so boring. But anyway, it's nothing better though than learning something new. And the one thing I'd really love to learn and perfect is the French language, being I live here. And that's the one thing I really struggle with to get right. Just been filling in forms online for the French refuge centre for dogs and what have you. No problems at all. I can read it. No problems. Occasionally I get the odd word that I struggle with, but generally, I do okay with it. And even writing it, what have you, apart from the keyboards. Well, it is actually this one is a French keyboard. It's a Zerti. But it's just you never stop learning. So whether it be a case of learning stuff around you and the environment, and you can just check things out online. You're always learning stuff, but you got to get the right sources. You need good sources of information, and Fox News is one of them, and Twitter isn't one of them. Facebook isn't one of them. No, you need to be able to cross-reference this stuff and make sure it's legit. Because I make mistakes, and I'm fairly careful. And we all make mistakes, but I'm not going to do it on purpose. Anyway, looking back now, what have I missed here? What have I missed? Let's go back down there. Top agreed says I left school with nothing. Did a GNVQ, and then an MPTCS for ARB work. Tree work, pretty cool. Then in guilds and arbor culture. And strange things, I wanted to be a soldier. I'll tell you something, it's a hell of a skill though. You see an arborist and they leave a tree, and you can soon tell whether or not they know what they're doing, can't you? If they're doing maybe a crown lift or a crown reduction or something, and you look at this stuff, you think, that's art. That is an art form. It really is. Von Cure, hopefully we became more sophisticated customers of information as we get on. I think we did. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of youngsters out there, teenagers, who are pretty well informed. They've really clued up, but then you've got those who aren't. And some of this is just life skills, And we don't teach life skills, do we, in schools? Obviously, they leave school with pretty much nothing. And quite often, they don't even know how to write a cheque. It's not quite some important thing these days. In France, it is. In France, a cheque is still a legitimate form of payment and stuff. And I like that. I like the fact that we can still do stuff without reliance on so much technology. And having payment systems that rely so much on computer systems that don't fail, break down. And we're in such a tricky situation at the moment with the potential of war, which, you watch your internet go tits up. The Russians have built a ship to cut the cables. Pretty much. They say it's a mapping cable, foreign cables, so they can cut the bloody things, let's be honest. Or drag anchors over it and stuff like that. China's built a sub for the purpose of cutting cables. They're open about it. So you know where they're going with war, don't you? You know, I'm not saying they're going into war, but you know, regarding that be one of their strategies. One of the strategies is to cause chaos. If you cut the cables and the internet goes tits up, there'll be chaos. People are so dependent upon it for payment of this and payment of that. All your payment systems, SWIFT systems, transfers, of them en France, say. But you know, there's all these things that just all going like wool. At the very least, your bandwidth will be squeezed, big time. Everything, all your data, all your information, everything you send from one place to another will all be screened, which will, like, you know, bottleneck it. It'll all go tits up in wartime, or the threat of war even. Now look what's going on in the United States, especially at the moment. They're screening everything at the moment. Especially if you're picking Facebook, your social media, the stuff you post online, or Twitter, your X, or Blue Sky, or whatever, you know, about Donald Trump, all that shit. It's all been scanned. You know, they're going around, these bloody ice cretins are going around with their mobile phones and they're taking pictures of people. I think, you know, check on the app, oh yes, okay, oh well, yes, you have, oh yes, you must be a criminal. Because you wrote nasty things about Donald Trump. All facial recognition stuff, you see. Blood in the streets, is Canada my home? It could be. Canada's big. But it is. Could you imagine it if Trump tried to invade Canada? There's no point in bombing Canada. What's the point in bombing Canada? You wouldn't have anything. It's like Russia's destroying Ukraine, bombing everything, bombing Kiev and stuff like that. If they want to take it over, what are they going to take over? Just a load of land. And everything's got to be rebuilt. They won't have the money to do it. Cambridge, Ontario. I did, crikey, when I used to work at Coves in Norwich, a long time ago, we used to do the Cambridge balls. So like, for instance, you know, all these rich buggers in tuxedos and stuff, want their pictures taken at Cambridge University. Oh, that was a good time, I have to admit, that was fun doing that. Fascists will be fascists, and that was the point of the big operation the other day in LA, yes. And what about MacArthur Park? Crikey, 17 bloody Humvees down there, and all those like National Guard, police and what have you. Why aren't these people saying, no, I'm not going to do it? They're talking about the National Guard. These are just people who like, I don't know, they're like Dad's Army. They're like people who just working in schools and the hospitals and that get called up to work in the National Guard. Why don't they just say no? You know? It's against the Constitution, you know? Well, it's against the Constitution. When you get cretins like this cretin, let's put it over there so you can see it. There you go, let's put it there. And here's a cretin, an absolute fucking cretin. There we go. I'm about to show you a cretin. If I can stretch it big enough, there you go. This guy here, I've been following him on for entertainment purposes. He does a lot of live streams as well, and he's, oh crikey, he goes around in his truck with all the stars and stripes and God knows what else. Yeah, it's literally just peppered. It is. He reckons he's had the truck from like 2000 on, but it's literally peppered in Trump stuff. It's horrendous. Big flagpoles up the back and stuff. Anyway, this is what he's saying about the Constitution. You know, obviously he looks MAGA. You know, you can see he's MAGA because he clearly is MAGA. Oh, hang on. Yeah, we're going to get it close, shall we? Let's get a bit closer. Yeah, because obviously you want to see his nostril here. There you do. There you go. Right, there we are. Is that close enough yet? Have I made it wonky? What have I done wrong? He ain't big enough. Okay, I think that would do. I'll sod it.
That's the Constitution. If they What's up, Berserker Patriot Store family? So,
Berserker.
I got a bunch of you sending me comments from Blue Sky and shit like that. All these apps that my truck is posted on now, Snapchat, fucking Substack. I don't have any of these, so I don't know. But I'm getting Telegram messages from you guys. So, I'm gonna give you this answer. You say, what do I think about all these people attacking these cops? I don't give a fuck about that. I was the biggest backer of the blue. But I'll tell you this right now. Every cop arrests people for laws on a daily basis that are against the Constitution, which makes them oath breakers, okay? They don't back the Second Amendment like they're supposed to. They arrest people for having guns, which is against the Constitution. So as long as you're a fucking oath breaker, I could give a fuck less if people are out here shooting you the fuck up. I won't back you. I'll stand there and I'll watch and I'll laugh. Because these are the same fucking cops that arrested preachers in the streets while people were rioting and fucking during COVID and all this shit. Arrested people for not wearing masks, wouldn't let them do commerce for not wearing masks, made them carry back.
He's also an oath
like
breaker.
that. These are the same enforcement arm of the law that will violate your constitutional rights without a second fucking thought and kill you. Okay? They wear the black, the blue flag was never meant for the cops to wear. That makes you a gang organization. That's your fucking gang sign now. Okay, you notice there's not only old people have the back the blue on their stuff anymore. None of us young patriots back law enforcement any longer.
You're not young.
5 years, you take an oath to the Constitution, and the Constitution dictates that illegal invaders of our country are to be arrested and deported. And you say you have to wait for the federal government to tell you this. So let me make this very clear. The way you fix America is you fix the enforcement arm of the law. Okay? So if the law backs the Constitution, if the enforcement arm backs the Constitution, then they don't take unconstitutional orders from politicians or governors.
Oh! Just had a tic tac to pressure my breath and so just I don't want to turn you off, you see. Yeah, you didn't want that, would you? It's bad breath and all that, you know. Bear breath. Well, he's going about invaders and what have you, and these people aren't invaders. When it says it in the Constitution, they mean literally invaders. Like, for instance, what Putin's doing to Ukraine. That's how it's worded in the Constitution. He shows his little Constitution pamphlet, and it's literally like a little pamphlet. It's like a tall, narrow thing about how wide it is, with about 10 pages in it. It's just, come on, read the actual Constitution, and you'll. And also, it's how you translate it. You know what? You just need to read it as it is, for what it is, not draw it out of. Complete different perception of what it actually means. You're right, Gingers, though. Yes, no one was arrested. For face masks. No one was arrested for not wearing a mask. He should wear a mask. He's a scary looking bloke. So, I baked some mean Grammy cookies. Oh, sounds good. Send me some. But don't attack me and mine. The trapper comes out in me. Ooh. Hello, Andrew Evans. I haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're well, my friend. His lot were one of the invaders, you knob. Yes, January the 6th. Most likely. What happened to the geezer with the horns? Oh, he ended up in jail. Oh, no, he got pardoned. That he did, yeah. He probably weren't for ice now. I bet he isn't, because he's... That geezer with the horns, he's actually got a bit of a softie, he was. But everyone else, with their flipping Proud Boys tattoos and stuff, you know, they'll work for ice now. Hello, Pandora. I've got my little Pandora girl. She's like a ghost, her face. It's all grey now. Now, when we first got her, she was just like jet black all over, with like a bolt of lightning coming down her chest, she was. Yes, nudging me with your nose. I know. I'm not quick enough. I do apologise. Oh, dear me. She was on my lap earlier. I mean, she's a funny girl. She loves a bum rub. Just above the tail. She's going, her tongue goes in and out. She's not. She's a lovely little thing, right? She's getting on now. She's 13 now. I think that's right. You know, I know, you're getting on, aren't you? But you're a bit of a brute, she is. She's a bit of a brute, aren't you? Yes, you are. I know, I love you. Yeah. We all invade sometimes. Ooh. Hail, Pandora! No jokes about the box. What about your box, Pandora? How's your box, baby girl? She is a funny thing. She's a good girl. I do love my dogs, I'll tell you. You need a puppy cam. I can do that. I can set up another camera. I can. You know. I'm never again saying that I am on the phone at the moment. You know. There you go, girl. I know. Look, okay, let me just show you. All right. Just for Adora, come here, there you go. Come on, girl. Yeah, that's it. Just there. Oh, let's see if we can get her tongue going in now. You're looking the wrong way, girl. Adora. Oh, she's not obliging. She's moving. Huh? I know you like it. Then she moves around. Look, she positions herself. So I'm just like scratching above her bum. Yeah, she does it every time. Oh, I know. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, you little hussy. Everybody should have a dog. They really should. Oh, yes, she's such a dame. That she is. Our dogs do the same thing. Yeah, Sebastian sort of does it. He's not quite so obliging with the bum rub, but you know he does. He loves a cuddle. He does. What he does is he if I'm on the sofa, he struggles to get up now. His back legs he's got weakness in his back legs, you see. So we help him up onto the sofa, and then he nestles up beside me and puts his head on just on my neck there, and then he falls asleep and then he starts snoring right in my ear. But you know, then I fall asleep. You know, he's just such a lovely little boy. God bless democracies and freedom. That is, yes. When you think about how our countries and people around the world and how they have to live their lives, look at Iran. The women in Iran, for instance, that's not living, is it really? Talk about being suppressed. That's not great at all. You know. No, it's suppression and control, and that's what Trump wants. That's what Trumper is. He's using deceit. He's using deceit to try and control the people. Now, I sincerely believe Donald Trump is using the amount of money that he's getting in this big, beautiful bill to increase his power, his ability to control the masses. By ICE. ICE is basically his martial law. Exactly. Stop! Dogs love you no matter what they do. You know. But our dogs got the reason not to. We spoil them. We really spoil our dogs, I'll tell you. They get lots of soppy cuddles and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's just nice. And I like it. You know? I like the fact that our dogs. Take care, Robert. Be good, my friend. Hope to see you again, my friend. You know, I'm trying to go live a couple of times a day at the moment. That's what I'm trying to do. It's not always possible, but yeah, I'll do my best. Yeah, take care, Robert. Be good. Have a lovely, Friday tomorrow, isn't it? Charles Fluwald. Okay, what have I missed from Charles? Hello, Charles, open bar. What have I missed? When's the last time you went out for a ride on your motorbike? It would have been last October. It's not great, no. The laws changed in France recently. I've got to put a CT on it. because we know you used to not you didn't have to have like a CT or it was basically an MOT on motorbikes here in France. So I need to take it out. Yeah, I need to take it to the CT station, get that CT'd, and then I will be taking it out again. But yeah, it's a Suzuki GSX 1400. It's a little bit much, really. It's a bit of an overkill, to be honest. But it is. Every time I get on, I feel, oh, what's that now? Do you know what I mean? It's because I do actually like riding it. But it's ridiculous. My this next trial is more economical than my motorbike, which seems madness, you know. But I have to admit, it's quicker. It's just a lot quicker, but it's just grunt. You know, 1,400cc on a motorbike is ridiculous, especially for a four-cylinder engine, smooth as hell. It's lovely. Yeah, that has been a while. So I think about September, October time of last year, I think it was. But I need to get it CT'd. I've got the camera's being CT'd next week. Now, what I would like to get is what we call a transverse trailer. So it's a trailer basically that the weight is taken on the back wheels, but they have casters on, so that you don't really lengthen too much the length of the actual camper. That would be the ideal thing for a motorbike to be on. But the camper's already ridiculously long. It's quite big. And we've got a big one because the dogs, you know, to protect the dogs. But so I've never ever put my dogs in kennels. I won't do it. They don't know what's going on, do they? Feels a bit. No, I can't do that. So they're always with us. I need to water my plants as well, but a hot day here. Yeah, on well water we also we pump our water for our you know, for watering our plants. Or use a water can. Yep, dogs, you love you and they never judge. It's very true. Maybe get a 300 or something like that CT. Yeah, take it out. Yeah, I should do. I will do, because I'm going to need to take it out to get it CT'd. Even if I was to sell it, I'd have to get it CT, otherwise I can't sell it. So you have to have at least 18 months CT on it, control technique, to sell it here in France. And also I can't cancel insurance unless I sell it or scrap it. And I'm not going to scrap it because it's a good bike. You know, so yeah. It is not... I've always had a bike. Yeah, for years I've always had a bike, you know, but I wouldn't actually mind getting something like just, I don't know, one of 400 or 500cc scooters or something like that. So you just jump on and whiz around on. I quite like the idea of that. What kind of moth in Ontario the size of a hand? That sounds like a big moth. Blimey, something Greece says, I've still got my RS125. Oh, God, they were a good bike, they were. RS125, quite prettier. Oh, Daily Blase, definitely. Alice Thomas put a link in the chat for another channel, Daily Blase's channel, and he talks a lot about UK politics and stuff like that. He's a good guy, so you know. Alice Thomas left a link for him on there. Last bike I had was tricked out 1997 Honda. Oh my God, a Joe Camel 600 F3. Too fast. Mine isn't, I wouldn't say it's too fast, but it has a lot of grunt. It's low end. I mean, you pull away and fourth, you know, it's just ridiculous. I've took that thing everything. I've been Switzerland on it, Italy on it, you know, obviously France because I'm in France, Belgium, and before that I had a Transalp, Honda Transalp, which also was a very good bike. We have those giant house spiders that you have in the UK. They are established here in the Pacific Northwest, and those things always freak me out in my tarantula room. They make me think I have an escapee. You got a tarantula room? I've heard of that one before. I've got a tarantula room. That's like on the you get in the films and that when they're talking about acridins and stuff like that. When there's some kind of acridid invasion and people are dying with these giant spiders. Got your tarantula. Now we have a lot of these. I don't know what they're called. They're arachnid, but basically they are very skinny legs, tiny little round body, massive legs, and they get everywhere. They do. They're absolute blooming nightmare. They really are, because they put webs everywhere. They've been in my workshop. I'm constantly having to get rid of these webs everywhere because it's just the dust sticks to them, and it's just caused a bit of a mess. So I have to try and keep on top of them. But I've got no tarantulas. I haven't seen any. I've got snakes, but no tarantulas. Take care, Alistair. Be good, good friend. Chat to you all, great day. Yes, it's late now. It's midnight for you. It's 1 o'clock for me here in France. But I'll go for a bit longer. Oh well. Nice legs. Shame about the thorax. Very good. Anyway, where was I? So, crikey, I'm getting distracted. I am with spiders. Now the thing is, I want to show some of these clips of people being arrested, and I'm shocked by it. I am. I shouldn't be, but I am, and it's just so sad. I can't imagine what these people are going through, and it's just wrong. Period. This is what Donald Trump is doing. Horrible, horrible, horrible man. Let's bring that down a little bit. So we get to the bottom. Okay.
You guys need a warrant to come in here. This is a fucking business.
This is a surgical centre in Ontario, California. So the woman said, "What's wrong with you? What makes people want to work for these people? What makes you to be so low that you feel that you need to treat other human beings like that?" It gets worse as well. It's just in front of the double here. Where was it? There we go. I don't know. I just. But he tasered him.
Get back to work. I need you to leave. This is private property. Escort her
You
up.
need me to leave?
Yeah.
Why?
Escort her. Yeah.
Boycott Walmart. Most definitely. But taser. There was no reason to taser him. There's 3 ICE officers there, 1 man. And they tasered him. He's not doing anything aggressive. He's resisting because he's scared, for Christ's sake. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with these people? Yes, an ICE terrorist. You're right. 100%, Dreamer. It makes me angry that these people exist. And it makes me want there to be some form of resistance to it. I know you've got the protests and the No Kings protests. They're all supplemental. I think people need to go further now. It's almost like you need your own militia. It's just like, crikey, what the fuck is going on? It's not going to improve. It's going to get worse. Because Donald Trump has found out that, people aren't reacting, people aren't... What happens if, say, for instance, someone resists and put a bullet in one of these ICE agents' heads? I'm not saying that's what they should do, but what would be the... There'd be martial law, wouldn't it? So people fighting in all different directions, and it's just like, what do you do to resist this? For me, it'd be, clandestine response. It'd be fight fair with fair. Make sure that these people who are working for ICE, make sure they can't live their lives while they're working for ICE. Make sure that everybody knows they've got masks on. They obviously don't want to be exposed. There'll be somebody who knows who they are. It's terrible. ICE terrorists, most definitely. Boycott everywhere. It's definitely boycott Walmart. And anyone else who's supporting this. People in there just get out, a video of this, fuck off. Seriously, F off. Let's hang on. That can't carry on. This is going to end so badly. You got the farmers now who what I saw earlier, that Doge has now got access to data that literally can screw over the farmers, and they voted for this year. It's just like eating his own face, biting his own face, is there? It's just the farmers are screwed. The American people are going to be screwed because we no food. The food's just going to rot in the fields, which means the farmers will probably go bankrupt as a result. They work on a really tight margin. Everything's become more expensive. Their inputs are all more expensive now. Much of those imports come from Canada, which now have been taxed to high heaven with these tariffs, such as potash, for instance. Most of it comes from Canada. So they're screwed themselves in all different directions, and anyone who's voted for this has screwed themselves in a day. I'm sure they want to eat. The food has to come from somewhere. This is a territory of empty shelves. When there's empty shelves, food prices go up. And then obviously got the egg situation. They were going on about the price of eggs and what have you. It's not because there's more eggs in the United States, it's because they're importing them from fucking Turkey. Places like that. God's sake. But nobody sees it, do they? They don't see the truth. What's actually going on. Either that, they don't care. It could be the latter, quite frankly. Trump knows what he's doing. Yeah, he knows what he's doing to screw everybody over. And that'll be those who voted for him as well. He don't care about you. He doesn't give a shit about anybody other than himself, maybe his family, but even they, quite frankly, he don't really give them back really. At the end of the day, he wants to hump his daughter, so, how it goes. Keep it in the family and all that, Most of the MAGA lot are all inbred anyway. Not with farmers. And I should know I live in France, right? Also, the US has more factory-farmed eggs. Yeah. Battery eggs, basically. I was watching a live stream where they're trying to make out, or somebody phoned in trying to make out about animals not being sentient, like they've got no feelings and stuff. They're just animals. They've got no feelings. Bollocks. You know, I've seen cows and their calves all nestling up to each other. Clearly, they love them. And when I'll tell you some place, we went in the camp a few years ago, right? And we camped on a dairy farm. And the dairy farm, as an organic dairy farm, actually the rules have changed, so they can't do this anymore. This dairy farm, calves are just given birth. They remove the calves from the mother, and they put them in little sheds and stuff, and they separate them. But that's changed now regarding organic or bio farms, because they've got to be with them for a certain period of time now. And my local farmer here, he's even though he's a bit of an arsehole, he's actually very good with his cows. Anyway, they're crying. These cows are literally the mothers. You hear the screams and the crying from the cows because the calves have been taken away, the babies have been taken away. It's cruel, just cruel. You know, and say they're not sentient, it's daft. Of course they're sentient. But that's the United States for you, know. What about fish? What about the UK's fish? What about Nigel Farage? Fish! What about the kipper in its pillow? If anyone didn't know about the pillow, oh my god, you need to research Boris Johnson and the pillow, the ice pillow, which is all lies, but it's just Donald Trump all over. I mean, Boris Johnson all over. He's just, they're the same ilk, you see. These people, they all tell lies. Right-wing politicians, they are all liars. Bringers of mistruths, twisted truths. Just to suit the narrative. People can be quite fine, but animals won't let us down. And that's where they'll win. What worries me is that we're going to destroy the environment for everything, including the animals. I think if we're ripped off the face of the planet will survive. And it's a sad truth. Because we don't want to let go of what we've got. We don't want to let go of the so-called luxuries or things that we think that are great. Even the internet, you know? These servers and what have you that provide us with the internet use huge amounts of energy, huge amounts of water for cooling, and we're not likely to let go of all that. Because it's distant from us, we can't see it, we're not feeling it. If our, like for instance, our field catches a light, or the trees and the forest over there, you might think, shit, there's some shit going on here, Maybe it's a global warming and that, because it affects us directly. But when things are at arm's length, they're distant, we ignore it. It's not our problem. We don't know about it. As long as they're providing us, we're getting our feed for our doom scrolling. Drill. Oh dear. Trump and Johnson are the long-lost brothers. Not as bad as Trump, but bad enough. The same with Nigel Farage. He's bad enough, but he's not as bad as Trump. What is it about Nigel Farage recently? He keeps coming up with policies and ideas which you could argue are quite socialist. What's happening there? It's strange. Oh, rumours of the woolly mammoths. Where? I'm okay with dinosaurs coming back. Me too. Got the dinosaurs. What we need? We need an asteroid. Apparently, one's on its way. It's going to create a complete blackout at will, and we'll all perish. Unfortunately, everything else will perish as well. It's not very selective, is it? No. Dreamer says only nature and animals is what drives me. Do you know what? My family does. I love my kids and that, and my grandchildren. They're wonderful. They really are. And we're quite fortunate. We've got good kids, good grandchildren. I feel. Nigel Farage is pretend. I'm quite proud of what we've achieved with our kids and how they are bringing their kids up. So we're quite proud of that. And in fact, my little grandchildren will be coming and visiting in just over a week's time. So that's going to be a madhouse here. 3 little girls, 1 little boy, and yeah, my little Grace has come to visit. Well, Grace, Tochi, Nana, and little Bushi coming to visit, which is going to be fantastic. And they are allowed in my live streams because she loves all that stuff. She's great, my daughter. So Nut Lighter wants to be what? What have I missed? What have I missed? Crikey. UK deserves so much better than Farage. It does. It does. It deserves better. What are the options at the moment? If Conservatives, well, you might as well forget about them. But they literally killed themselves off. They're gone extinct. And now we've got, Keir Starmer and Labour. Labour's not what it used to be. Certainly Clement Attlee, is it? Keir Starmer, he's not. He is a statesman, but he's more conservative than anything else, isn't he? He's certainly don't feel working class to me. And my son has just had to jump through hoops to try and get it sorted. He's sorted it out, but he don't know when he's got to wait. But he's done all the paperwork now. But he's taking the same. He doesn't need that stress. It brings out the worst in his condition because it's a neuro condition. So it's like he doesn't need this, and he's had it all his life. What effect did he need to change things? But anyway, it could be worse. It could be in the United States. As far as Donald Trump is concerned, regarding the disabled, they'd still be dead. He pretty much said that to his nephew more than once. I like asteroids, says Curious. I would like an asteroid. Apparently they've got loads of very expensive minerals on there. We might be able to make some money. I might be able to pay my bills. Oh dear. Neil James says there is no God. I agree with you. That's me all over. I'm atheist, so you got to write random things like that in the chat. That's fine. That's how I feel. I don't feel there's a God. I just feel that you just need a congregation of decent people. You don't need a congregation and a God. It doesn't make any sense to me. You just do the right thing. You don't need to be following some thing. But that's my feeling. That's how I feel. If somebody else feels they need a God and to do the right thing, or it helps them, it makes them feel good and what have you, well, that's fine. But just be careful, because it's also used as a tool to do wrong. You've only got to look where we've got these so-called fake Christians. All these ICE people, all these MAGA people, they all reckon they're Christians. Bugger off. They're as Christian as I don't know. I think of somebody now. Genghis Khan. I don't know. Just a random name out the top of my head. I think Mr. Rogers raised me better. What, Buck Rogers? Oh dear me, people are just strange, aren't they? But that's what we got. So we have to work with what we got. Just hope that people as a whole don't do wrong on others and other living creatures. Is that Wally? Okay, well, I suppose I'm Wally Bra, as in my woodworking channel. But my little Wally doggy, I lost him. That's his collar. Yeah, he's my little Wally doggy was. Crikey, that's warm. We bought. Actually, Caroline went to. There was a little shop that's next to our supermarket. It's gone now, but it used to be there years and years ago. And Caroline went to the supermarket and she bought this for €12. This collar for Wally. And it's this collar, you had that all the time for about 13 years. He had this collar. And do you know why I like it? It's still got his smell on it. He smells of he smelled of digested biscuits. My Wally. He's just, yeah, he's a great little boy. But you know, comes to us all in the end, doesn't it? You know. Blame America, most definitely at the moment. Unfortunately, it's not America, is it? It's the people in charge. Yeah, America's a beautiful country. There's a lot of very nice and very good people in the United States. People who don't want to do harm to others, you know? They're watching what's going on and they just don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. And they too are frightened. You know? Unfortunately, there's a whole load of people there that are, quite frankly, evil as well. We've got our fair share of evil people in the United Kingdom and Europe, you know, and there's plenty of them, you know. There's some right-wingers and that, you know. In Germany, for instance, with the Alternatives for Deutschland part of the AfD. It's just... What surprises me, or kind of confuses me somewhat, is how people can want something that they wouldn't necessarily want for themselves or their family, yet they'll want it for others. That doesn't make any sense, because they could end up being the other. It seems daft. It's so ill-informed and so unaware. Everyone would be happy if everyone just managed to get on. Even there's different points of view, you know, you go to a barbecue, you all get different points of view. I've been to lots of parties and stuff like that. And I don't agree with people, what they're saying, you know, but we got one and bed together and all that, you know. But they didn't wish ill on others, necessarily, you know. We just had different points of view. There's people out there who didn't want, were worried about the immigration levels in various countries, including the United Kingdom, what have you. Might worry about immigration levels, but they wouldn't necessarily want them to be gathered up in the way that they are and tased, for Christ's sake. Then shot with rubber bullets and God knows what else. And shoved in a gulag somewhere, or alligator, AllShorts in Florida. In the Everglades, you know, to be eaten by crocodiles or whatever it is they were drooling over. These people are seriously mixed up, but they always were there. They were always in there, you know, chanting their point of view around the oil drum that they set light to keep warm in the heat, you know, at night times, and maybe do a bit of beatbox. But just complaining about shit. Because they failed themselves. Because they've managed to achieve nothing themselves. It's so easy to blame somebody else for your own failures. It just is. And you don't want to take responsibility for all those failures. For all problems and issues in your own life. Failed relationships and stuff like that. Now I've quite lucky, we've got bloody good kids. We've got one kid that's a little bit off the rails. And she's my oldest daughter. And I say she's off the rails, she's not terrible, but she's so disconnected from reality. And she kind of fits that bill of what's going on at the moment. You know, I think a lot of families have that one child, you know. She's not a bad person, don't be wrong, but she's her ideals don't fit with everybody else's in the family, so it always creates arguments. But these people, they need it's almost like the enlightenment to understand and realise, you know, they need to be on the receiving end of things that they wish for others to understand what's going on, because they could quite easily be. A lot of these people working for ICE, they look like, hang on, you look like a Latino, you know? Maybe you're a Cuban, what have you, and there you are going around. You think it protects you. It's like people who voted for Donald Trump. The next minute, their wives have been taken away. They thought, oh, he don't mean me because I'm voting for him. They don't mean me because I'm MAGA. No, don't mean me. No, they don't care. Because they don't care about you. They just care about keeping the numbers up. Stephen Miller for you, isn't it? Keep up the numbers. Keep the numbers up. Deportations. Have enough people coming in into these places, these deportation centres and what have you. And into these gulags. They were laughing about the fact that individuals could get eaten by sharks. They're drooling over it. And they're saying about people getting like, well, you know, you end up in Seacott, you never come out again, even though Abrigo Garcia has, sort of. Well, he's out there, but you know, he's going through trials, right? Trumped up charges. More trumpery. More deceit. Can't believe that's an actual word. Trumpery. Check it out. Trumpery is an actual word. In French, originates in French. Actually, to be fair, a lot of the English language actually does come from French. Oh, did I say that? Oh, my God. Oh, God, did I say it? Oh, I did. Let's have a funny one, shall we? Let's have a funny one. Oh, God, here we go. I can't believe I did this on my mobile phone like this. I don't know if you've seen this, but you probably haven't. And my phone is all wonky. That'll do. That'll do. Oh, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready?
One of thousands of young architects who recently moved to Austin to escape what he calls the liberal architecture agenda.
Yeah, I used to live in LA for a while, but like the scene there just kept becoming more and more regulated. And here I feel like I can build whatever I want, dude. And people don't even care if you get like a little offensive with it. Right now I'm working on like a house that just has the word bitch written all over it. And then I'm also working on this like really steep handicap ramp that no one could even get up, you know, if they wanted to. So
these are young Gen Z men, chronically online. They want to challenge the status quo, building houses with what they're calling Chinese doorbells.
Most attribute the shift to the popular architecture podcast, The Bingo Hogan Ordeal.
Every morning I put my foot in a bucket of dry ice and then I smash it into 1,000 pieces using a cartoon mallet. Anyway, why do young men feel like they can't build anything anymore?
Look, we have disrupted the social order. The man builds the home while the woman tends to it. The modern man feels like he's not allowed to build, and the woman wants to give the house pronouns.
You can't even build a devilishly steep handicap ramp anymore.
Exactly. I mean, look at trout. The male trout builds the home out of algae and sticks, while the woman tends to the babies, and we share 98% of our DNA and hobbies with trout.
The popular weekly show Build Ronnie has become the center of the Austin scene.
Okay, y'all know how this works. If your name gets drawn, you got 15 seconds to tell us your idea for a building, and then we call you gay. Frank Peabody. Nice name, buddy. What's next, Frank Pooh?
Hey, so obviously, you know, you got like his and hers bathrooms, hold the hers.
I guess I just got one question. How comfortable are the closets at your house? Because it doesn't seem like you're ready to come out of yours just yet.
It's a basic family home made of cheap but sturdy materials built to withstand wear and tear.
And?
Chinese doorbells?
Okay! For young architects like Darren, the field may be crowded, but the dream lives on.
yeah, so didn't get pulled tonight, but hoping to, you know, get up next week maybe.
What were you hoping to pitch?
Yeah, so I was gonna pitch this house for immigrants where the floor actually collapses and then they land on spikes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and all the spikes have the word bitch written on them.
Meet Darren, one of thousands of young architects who recently moved to Austin to escape what he calls the liberal architecture.
Oh, God, yes! Stop the green again. Cheers, buddy. That was funny, wasn't it? I have to admit, that did make me tickle. It was about right, though, wasn't it? Time for bed! Thanks, says Andrew Evans. Take care, my friend. That is pretty late. That's 1:30 for me. That's so what? Life is too short, that is. So am I. Yeah, I love the texture detail with the spikes with bits written on them. Yeah, put me on like button, would you please? Helps the channel, you know, and it does. Oh, dear me. I don't know if this is satire or real these days. Very true. Well, I have to admit, the US government, headed by Mr. Trumpery himself, Donald J. Trump, you know, the President it feels very much like satire on a daily basis, and it does. Oh my giddy aunt, my battery's getting low, I've got 15% remaining. Oh my giddy aunt, so it'll be my coup very soon, it will. That beer does look good. What, this beer? Yeah, it's a blonde. It's gone a bit flat now, actually, because I've been taking so long to drink it, but you know. The thing is about French beer is it's quite strong. So you have to, you know, it's like 2 beers in one. It's like two. Anyway, one. Yeah. What the fuck? America is so dumb. I'm ashamed to admit that I am an American citizen. Don't be ashamed. There's plenty of really good American citizens. They come onto this channel, like they do. They follow this channel, and you know they are 100% aware of what is going on, and it's not them. It's not their fault. You know, it's not their fault. There's plenty of crazies out there, but there's not. You know, they're not all. Don't be ashamed. You shouldn't be ashamed, because at the end of the day, you're saying that you're ashamed, which you're saying there's a problem. That means you're aware. So you don't need to be ashamed. But I understand what you mean, and also other people could be kind of negative towards you. But they shouldn't be, really. You know. Just be who you are. Be who you are, you know. If you're doing what you can to be a decent human being, do it. Be a decent human being. Why do people, get high on being an arsehole? Why is that? What? Mud? Did they have horses in them mud? What? Dr. Chris says I dated a flat blonde. Oh dear me. Nice one. This reminds me of the Banter. You know what? I worked on sites and in the workshop as well, obviously, but work for building geezers, you know, and labourers and God knows what else on site, and the banter. That is one of the things I do miss, is the banter. It's quite nice doing this, you see. There's a constant laugh. There's no malice in it. It's just a constant banter. You do get idiots, obviously, but and you get some pretty hateful people. But as a whole, most people just want to have a laugh, get through the day. Get through the day, you know, you're freezing cold on site for the winter, what have you. There you are, doing your job, what have you. And you just have a banter. You just have a banter and just have a good time, you know, while you work. And you know, it's a laugh. It's a laugh. It should be. We could be so careful, because if we allow something to get to us to the point of depressing us, it's a spiral, and it can get out of control, and you start to need therapy and shit like that, you know. Your therapy should be your laughter, you know. You know what they say, don't you? If you don't laugh, you cry, don't you? It's, you know, men or pen? What? What I missed? I'm confused. The power of the pen, maybe. Yes, Niquil. Oh, that is. Yeah, I'm a bit old school. I do like ink pen, proper pens and stuff. I don't use biros. Pencils and pens and chalk. Whenever I do my actual videos, and I put my notes down from the video, so I try not to forget anything, because I've got a bit of a foggy head at times. I put them with bullet points. It's done on a blackboard, an old-fashioned blackboard. I make them myself because it's so easy. You know, I make many. You know, well, it makes many I like, you see, and I just use chalk. I like it. Sometimes old is better, you know. It's just easy. Simple. Simple is as simple does, you know. Very wise man once told me that in a movie. Yeah, it's easy to just tune out. That's a good point. Sometimes you need to tune out. If someone's spouting a load of stuff around you that you can't quite frankly get your head around, and sometimes you've got to tune out. Sometimes it's too much. Especially stuff that we can't relate to, believe in, it's not our ideology. When I say ideology, I don't mean LGBTQ, because that's not an ideology. That really annoys me when people call it an ideology, because it's not an ideology. You're either, let's say for instance, trans, for instance, you're either gay or you're not, you know, or you swing both ways or whatever, you know, but it's not an ideology. No, that's saying it's an idea. It's not an idea, it's who you are. It's mud. What about mud? Pen or paper? Oh, crikey. I use both. I use paper and a pen. Handy, you know. I write so many bloody notes in a day, whether it be chalk on a blackboard or pen on paper. Or pencil. Oh, historical. Lots of Canucks say, yeah, it's got to be plenty of Canucks. Got to be Canadians, like, yeah. And it's nice to know, you know, it's nice to know that we've got people coming into the chat. You know, I'm a British citizen living in France, all right? I don't like what's going on in the UK. It don't fit with my ideology. And I don't like what's going on in the United States. It don't fit with my ideology. But I do actually like what's happening. And it's like a resurgence of patriots, Canadian patriots, you know, who believe in their country. That resistance, I respect that. I really do respect that. And we need that in the UK, we need that in the United States. We really do. People need to stand up for what they believe in. And I don't honestly believe that these people, but actually believe, these MAGA people, they don't believe in anything. I think they're frightened. I think they're driven by fear. They're fear of stuff that they don't even understand. They're just told they've got to fear it. And generally speaking, this narrative has been pushed by money, oligarchical money, and Elon Musk. This could have been prevented. No, I know a lot of people, you know, they chose not to vote for Kamala Harris. She would have been a better candidate. She made a massive mistake, though. Massive mistake. They had all that funding for her party during the campaign, and she looked like she'd done a U-turn effectively on many things, which then she lost her legitimacy. As soon as you start doing what the millionaires tell you that they want, the people decide that, well, no, enough is enough. People say, well, no. We'll vote for Donald Trump instead. It's a frying pan into the fire. But, you know, things could have been so much more normal in the United States. Normal for Canada. All this situation in Canada is all because of Donald Trump. Situation in Europe because of Donald Trump. Situation in the United Kingdom, Donald Trump. And these leaders feel they have to suck up to him, suckle on this old chocolate starfish, for no other reason than protecting themselves. Now, I personally feel it's a mistake. I really do feel it's a mistake. The United States needs to trade. They need the stuff that you have got. They can't function without it. By saying that you can't actually have the stuff, well, basically, US factories and manufacturing will cease. The Trump regime will have to soften their stance. They don't have the stuff themselves. Otherwise, they wouldn't be importing it. They're importing it because they need it. It's all very well for Donald Trump to keep shoving tariffs on this, that and the other, which is effectively a tax, pushing the price up of everything. But the fact of the matter is, you know, if you don't look after your supply chain and protect it, you protect it by keeping your relationships with those countries that supply you sweet, well then quite frankly you're going to fail. Now if it's, you know, let's say for instance, not Mark Rutte, because you know, obviously you know, he said daddy, again, don't call him Donald Trump daddy, but yeah, he's just the head of NATO, so it's irrelevant really. But regarding the other NATO members, what have you, and European Union member states, and the United Kingdom, and Canada, and what have you. You know, Canada's done the most, I would say. So, well, if, for instance, you've got to tariff us, we're going to cut the supply chain. Yes, you'll get hit. Yes, your economy will be shit for a little bit. You could prepare yourself. You could say, well, okay, we're going to open our markets to elsewhere. There'll be other places that need your copper and steel and aluminium. Car industry will need some support. It's tied it over. Donald Trump he would be forced into relenting, seceding. He would have to step back from these tariffs. He'd be forced to. You got to face a bully clear in the face, straight. You know, fight fair with fair. Fight a bully with, you know, strength. I suppose you'll stand up to him. Now, I always found that I was quite small at school, but I was quite a tough cookie, and when it come down to when people would pick on me because I was quite small, I stood up to it. Because I was quite strong, a bit of a tough cookie, well then quite frankly it backfired on them. And more often not, they end up being, well, getting respect, you know? End up being friendly. I'm not saying we've got the fisticuffs and shit like that, but you know, sometimes it's what it comes to. It's just how it is, you know. It sounds stupid, it's testosterone and shit like that, you know. Especially when you're growing up, maybe, but you know, it's the same on the trade. You have to stand up to me negotiating trade deals. You negotiate, but you're standing up for what you want. And hope that the other side, you've got to play chicken with them. You hope that the other side is going to say no, you know. Not saying no, but so okay then. The thing is, once we trade elsewhere, we won't go back. Very true. And then the United States businesses will suffer. They'll be trying to find new supply chains, which will take a long while to establish. And when you've got a situation of no trust, well, who's going to touch you? You know? That'd be a case of, okay, then we want our money up front. If you want to buy, you know, I don't know, argue potash, well then, you know, they will be asking for their money up front. And the same with, you know, with Canada, we want to be paid up front. And we're going to, you know, obviously we're going to be adding the tariff cost. Or just get added at the border. We're up to the task. The thing is, once we trade elsewhere, we won't go back. That's so true, Curious. It really is. We found that with Brexit, like regarding the UK, where we were trading Canada, okay, I mean Scotland and what as well, with other countries and stuff. We kind of lost our supply chains, and also we were a supply chain in the UK. They looked elsewhere. They found new. I'm going to have to call it a night because my battery is literally 5%. I just realised it just shut down on me, wasn't it? So anyway, thanks a lot for everybody joining me and that. And there's so on a super chat today that it's amazing. I really appreciate it. And most of us, I think most have come from Stop the Greed and that as well. So yeah, it's really nice. It's really encourages me to carry on. It really do. And yeah, I'd still be live streaming now for another hour or so. The longest live stream I've done is set over 7 hours, believe it or not. If Mad Monk was still here, he'd tell you that he would. Over 7 hours live stream I did. Maybe I need to do another great big fucking long one. Maybe. Obviously I have to do it on the computer though. That I would. So anyway. Thank you so much, and thanks to Alistorm and others at here, and people who've been the spanners who've been making sure keeping the live stream nice and clean. Really appreciate it. Got Joe here as well. Hello, Joe. It's late for you as well as me. That it is. So yeah, are you Scottish? No, I'm not Scottish. I'm a British citizen living in France. I'm very interested in what's going on around the world. Mind saying that. I'll start off doing a lot of videos about Brexit and the UK politics and that, and also some stuff in the EU as well, because obviously it's related. But more recently, I've been taking more of an interest in what's going on in the United States. It just kind of went that way. It didn't, not by choice, just happened really. And in particular, what's going on in Canada, and it really surprised me how they stood up. And also the connection with Mark Carney, because he used to be our Bank of England governor, you see, in the UK. And I always liked him. I always thought he was a decent geezer. You know, he was a family man. He brought his kids up here in the UK and what have you, until he moved back to Canada. He was just a decent, as far as I can tell, he was a decent bloke. Yeah, he's a bank manager, and so what? I never understood that would be, okay, he's a bank manager, all that, you know, they just screw you over. No. They're just economists and stuff. Some of them are obviously nasty pieces of work, aren't they? It's horrible, useless pieces of work out there. Go out to be bank managers, but I don't think that's Mark Carney. I really don't. So I'm going to have to love you and leave you. I appreciate everybody, and I hope everybody has a lovely Friday. And getting getting themselves sorted out for the weekend, so they, have a good time. Please, please, please don't let this situation that you're living in at the moment, this shithole, stress you out too much. Look at the positives. Look at the positives and think about how you can actually strive, go forwards and everything, Never say never. Just say you've never ever done it yet. It's just because you haven't done it yet. What's the saying? How's it going? Never say you can't do it. Just say you haven't done it. Something like that. It's just, Anyway, thanks a lot, and love ya. I do. Even MAGA. Oh, I even love you, MAGA lot. Yeah, I do. As long as you're nice MAGA, an ill-informed MAGA. But if you're a nasty MAGA and want people to suffer, well, then I don't love you. No. Oh, no, crikey. You've been sucking on that old chocolate starfish of Donald Trump's. It's all Cheeto dust everywhere. Oh, for that. Oh, crikey. Oh, my God. Oh, crikey. I'll get some. Oh, you got to trim that. Toodaloo.